Emergency Purple Pain podcast. Let's get into it. What is there to say? It's not the regular season, but the Ravens still find new ways to break our hearts. Let's just take a little time travel. I mean, 2019, you're the best team in the league. You get blown out at home. 2020, Lamar gets hurt, bad snap. 2021, you get hurt the whole damn season. 2022, Snoop Huntley, fumble. 2023, take the league by storm, lose a heartbreaker at home, AFC Championship. 2024, Andrews drop. 2025, Tyler Lute missed kick, and the offseason. The most statement trade, the most statement move I think that's been made defensively, not, obviously not extending Lamar, but a new guy coming in a Maxx Crosby. Falls through. Back out. Cold feet. 2 first-round picks back to the Ravens. And it's only us. This only happens to us, it feels like. Happened with Michael Brockers, I remember, in 2019. Ryan Grant. Remember him? That one fell through. Got Michael Crabtree instead. Now, I know teams can pull out, but for the magnitude of the player we got in the pull out, failed the physical is what they said. Sutton, I know you're not happy. I'm not happy. I'm kind of like accepting it right now, I guess. It's just like, you can never just be too comfortable. You can never just trust what this team does, because always just that worry that you'll find a way to mess it up. And they did. Maxx Crosby is not going to be a Raven. He is not going to be a Raven. And the Ravens now have signed John Simpson and re-signed Tyler Huntley. And that has been their 2026 offseason. They have lost 9 players right now that will not be coming back.
Alex, the way you just put it just now, it makes it hurt that much more. Alex, I cannot believe that on this average ass Tuesday, where I'm thinking, the Ravens are going into the next 2026, 2027 season with the likes of Maxx Crosby. No issues, no reason for the Ravens not to get to a Super Bowl, if not win it. We got a pass rush now. I went into this average ass Tuesday with that assumption, thinking to myself, Alex, that, hey, maybe this is the day. Maybe today is the day that Lamar Jackson actually signs his extension. Right. And that's the news that we have to hop on here for an emergency episode 387, podcast episode of PRP here. I was thinking that was what we would be on here talking about today, not the fact that, what are we talking, 72 or some odd hours after the Ravens find out, or after Ravens fans find out that they're actually getting a pass rush, a certified bona fide pass rush. No longer is that the case. Listen, man. The reason why I hate this the most, because it's like, okay, cool. No more Maxx Crosby, right? But at the same time, it's like you already missed out on day one of free agency, thinking that you had something more than what you had, right? We missed out on day one of free agency because we thought we had Maxx Crosby, right? We didn't make any moves. I mean, we basically just wasted a day, just forfeited an entire day. And this will, oh my goodness, Alex, I don't think you understand, brother.
I get it.
This will literally change the entire course of this offseason. Because there were so many players, listen, so many players, so many moves that the Ravens could have made yesterday if they knew that Maxx Crosby wasn't going to pass a physical.
Yeah.
There's so many moves that they could have made in order to shore up this roster more than what it is. Instead, nope. Oh, we got Crosby, so let go of Linderbaum, let go of Likely, right? Keaton Mitchell, go ahead. Find work elsewhere. You know what I mean? We don't Kohler, find work elsewhere. Draymond Jones, find work elsewhere. That's what we said. Because we were under the assumption that Maxx Crosby was coming to Baltimore. So it's just like that's what pisses me off the most, Alex. And I'll toss it back to you. I'll let you get, some more of your feelings out. But yeah, thought we had Crosby. Now we don't. We missed out on a whole day of free agency. A bunch of the big names have gone off the board. Elton Jenkins, center, just went off the board a couple of hours ago, right? You
Mhm.
talk about a center who the Ravens do not have. It's like, what do we do now, bro? Oh, thank God. Wait, thank God. Iona Vega, that pick 14 is still alive. Thank God, right? That's what we're thinking right now. Alex, take it away, man.
Ah, you are in talks with the team for a while. You don't ask. I mean, you don't ask for medical history. Listen, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You know, obviously, he has something going where he missed games, and you kind of got to expect that. This is me purely speculating. I feel like they saw something, and they are like, you know what? Is it worth giving up the 2 first rounders? I think possibly somebody got cold feet. Not true. I'm not too sure, but I, I don't know how serious this is. If he's out for the whole year, then I'm completely on board. If it comes out and he misses a lot of games this year, I'll hold my hands up and say, you know what, that was the right move. But as of right now, that completely halted your offseason plans. You are right now in free agency wise behind everybody, and now the Raiders, you completely f them because we talked about it yesterday, 24 hours ago, how many signings they made. We went over how much money they spent. Me and you, Sutton, together. And now that's 30 million back on their cap that they thought was off. They signed guys like Quiddy Pay for 50 mil, Linderbaum 27 a year. We were talking about all these guys. Now what happens with them? So they're in a bad predicament. They can pretty clear that up. Try to move stuff around. But us, like I said, John Simpson and re-signing your backup quarterback. That is it's just that's so Raven. It really is. That is
Oh,
so Raven.
man. Man. I mean, that should be the name of this episode, to be honest with you. That's beautiful that you just said that, Alex, because that is so Raven. That's exactly something that would happen to us and only us as Ravens fans. And if you're a Ravens fan listening to this right now, I am sorry because I share the same emotion that you do on this day. I shared past tense the same emotion that you did on Friday night when we thought that we were finally getting something, right? The missing puzzle piece to this Ravens team, at least in the Lamar Jackson era, that was going to take them over the top. A pass rush. The main reason why we lost most of our games last season, the lack thereof a pass rush. We thought we had one now. Now we don't. I got to bring up some super chat donations here before we move on, Alex. Was coming from H. Dropping the 49 in the chat says if Maxx Crosby goes off on another team and gets all pro honors, EDC needs to go ASAP. Thank you so much, H. Ferguson, dropping or making it rain here, dropping the 5-piece in the chat as we have almost 400 people watching live to this episode 387 of the Purple Rain podcast, this emergency episode. Alex, what do you think Ferguson meant here?
Yeah, that is that's I'm kind of there with you. I'm gonna try to stay patient, but seeing stuff come up. I mean, maybe the Raiders sold them something that it wasn't. Maybe saying, "Oh, he's fine," and then he comes in here and we see, like, he's been in Baltimore for I think 2 days now. It just them damn physicals. It always gets us, and I don't know. I'm not feeling the best. I can't really crash out. It's just disappointing, not surprised. They just find a new way. I'm sorry if I'm not responding to this. I mean, if he goes to another team, gets all pro, I agree. I do agree. But we've kind of, and here's kind of what I was talking about yesterday. I was getting slack for, oh, the Ravens, they don't do anything the first day or the second day. And we're accustomed to that. Like, that's the normal. Like, that, like, we should be okay with that. I think we should have, made some restructures weeks ago when we did it, going into the free agency, strung to the cap. But If he goes elsewhere and balls out and, he's perfectly fine, then yes, big questions better come up. That seat Eric has better be as hot as heck.
Yeah, for sure. DY is here with another super chat donation. Thank you so much. DY says emergency Ravens meeting. That's exactly what this brother. Also, Marky dropping the 4.99 and the appreciate you his brother's okay that they said he failed his physical, but he literally got meniscus surgery a couple months ago, so they already knew. So why make the move SMH?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. Go ahead, Alex.
yeah, this is my point exactly. You knew he wasn't gonna. You knew what you were getting. You knew it wasn't gonna be 100% perfect, and maybe they saw something else, or maybe somebody wanted their first round picks back because the free agency didn't fall their way. It came out we were in for Elgin Jenkins. That came out today. We were in for him, possibly in for other people too. And maybe he's like, well, I can take this
I didn't
out
know.
and get a lot of other people. But right now you're in phase two, late phase two of free agency.
Yeah, yeah, and for me, like Alex. Again, like I said before, you missed out on the whole first day, the first free agency. That's gone. You thought you had a guy who you now do not. And all of a sudden, I think you have to kind of automatically turn your attention to the draft now and look at okay, we've got the first round pick back. Next year aside, but this year we have the 14th overall pick back. Can you really, realistically, right? Like how does with how free agency has fallen so far with so many big names going off the board, so many guys that we would have done our due diligence on had we not have just acquired Maxx Crosby. With the absence of so many of those guys getting taken away yesterday on Monday, Alex, like how does this change how the Ravens draft now? I feel like the strategy has to be different because everybody was saying, okay, look, O line first and foremost, right? But now does it change? Do you think it changes it at all?
I mean, it's probably going to. I think they could be more aggressive to try to get an edge rusher if a guy like Ruben Bain falls. But I think Vega's going to be that guy first round. But my problem is now, like, even so, I was fine today, even with losing who we lost. I really don't care who we lost today. I'm not, or last night. I'm not. I'm not going to miss Alohi Gilman the way some of the people were. I'm sorry. He missed tackles. He was cool when he came. It's whatever. But I felt a lot more comfortable knowing I have a guy who had 28 tackles for losses last year. I'm gonna keep on bringing it up because he had more than our starters combined last year. This guy outperformed our whole fucking D line, and and we just talked about how many games more we would win of last year if we had a guy like him. You're not gonna get another fucking Maxx Crosby out there. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. We're gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit there and dumpster dive and get somebody's edge rusher they don't want anymore, and we're gonna pick him up and we're gonna feed it to the Ravens guys. Oh, look what you got! This guy used to be an All-Pro, used to be a Pro Bowler. And it's just gonna be the same thing, rinse and repeat, and that's where I just get tired of the same shit. And hell, Colin Manoy might come back. We'll have his podcast back. Yes.
Yeah. I guess let's look at the bright side, right? Fucking look bright, dog. JR making it rain here with the 5 piece in the chat. Thank you so much, brother. Says all the EDC lovers will a failed physical really be the excuse. This is Maxx Crosby. EDC has failed this team over and over again. This is ridiculous. When I first hopped on the stream with you, Alex, before we clicked the live button here, I'm like what happened? I mean, I heard he failed a physical. Like, what did he not like pass a weed test or something like that? Like, what was it? You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell it was, but apparently, like you said, it was a meniscus, and like somebody alluded to earlier, like they already knew about this. They had prior awareness about this. So it's just like, like you gave up the 2 first round picks. Obviously, obviously, this means that Eric DaCosta was rolling over and waking up in cold sweats the past 72 to 90 hours, right, thinking about like, oh my goodness, oh my god, I just gave up 2 first round picks. I don't know if I can like let go of this, you know what I mean, the prospect of an Iona Vega this year and a whoever next year, late 20s pick. I just can't imagine that they would not be better than a Maxx Crosby. You know what I mean? He was waking up in cold sweats thinking that, right? Having those sort of nightmares. And it's just like, it goes to show, like, again, you already had this guy making videos, press conference video, on his own podcast saying like, "Hey, look, I cannot wait to be a Raven." I'm ready to do this, you know? But if you did not have word that this guy would not be ready to play, right? Like medically cleared to play by the time the season starts, then why would you even agree to this in the first place, right? Unless the Vegas Raiders were hiding something, you know, there's just no excuse here. There's just no excuse here because you should have known what his timetable is before you were able, you know, suck up pony two round fucking picks. Like it's just, I don't know. It's ridiculous to me. Again, it's malpractice, if you ask me, on Eric DaCosta's end. And, you know, let us know what you guys think in the comments. We do have over 400 people watching live. Shout out to y'all. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. This is the Purple Rain Podcast as we live react, instant reaction to Maxx Crosby no longer being a Raven. The Ravens have both of their first round picks back. The deal is off the table. Maxx Crosby did not pass a physical. It's over with. Man, this is insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it is. It's like this is not a Ravens move, and we are right. It wasn't a Ravens move, and it gets gets axed. It's truly laughable. They found a way to choke even in the offseason. Arguably the trade of the offseason, you find a way to f that up. Like I said, I'll hold my hands up and apologize if it really is something serious, but it's not. They'll probably get somebody else to offer maybe a first and a second. They'll get that. He'll go elsewhere. He'll be playing on a team next year.
Yeah, and that's the craziest thing about it, right? Is because like you mentioned at the top of the show, they already made a shit ton of moves where they gave up a ton of cap space. So now like they're going to have to kind of compensate for that, you know, and give him up at a cheaper price. You
Yep.
know, and so a first and a second now when we paid two firsts, we are ass out right now. You
Yep.
know how bad the Ravens look at this specific time? We look terrible. You know, we went from being like literally, I don't know what the you know, the lines are, the betting lines are now for like odds to win the AFC championship because I knew that, you know, going into today, the Ravens were tied with the Bills, right? For the one spot to win the AFC championship. I would assume right now, as of what is this, 7:51 my time here, Alex. I mean, the Ravens are probably like the third favorites because they lost Maxx Crosby and they lost the first day of free agency with that. So and the Lamar deal has not been announced yet. I mean, it's been kind of hinted at today. It has, and I guess we can get into that in a second. But again, man, I don't. Man, go ahead, Alex.
They're gonna
This
make
is
a push.
insane.
They're gonna make a push for Hendrickson, and they're gonna expect us to be okay with that. The
I
guy
don't
who
want Trey Hendrickson, bro. He's
listen,
not. That's not it. That's not the
it's
answer.
it's not. It's not, and this guy also injury problem. I'm sorry, injury problems doesn't help in the run defense. 4 sacks last year, and they're gonna
Come
expect us to
on,
be fine.
man.
And that's their way of saying, well, at least we tried. And I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm just really just Eric DaCosta team building is not good. It's really I don't know what he's doing. I don't. I genuinely don't. Guy hasn't been able to build Lamar a line. He built him a line and let Kevin Zeitler walk. I still won't get that. I don't want to go back,
It's
too far, but
insane.
yeah, yeah. Um, gosh, you gotta love the Baltimore Ravens. You gotta love the Baltimore.
Yeah, man.
And
Jeremy
Lamar's on
says
top of
here.
that shit. Yeah.
Jeremy says here with the two piece in the chat. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for making it rain here on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Jeremy says, I hope Dallas tries to get him again. Hey, man,
They can
honestly,
they can get out the
hell,
Rashawn Gary trade, and then they can sign Maxx Crosby.
I'm sure they could. I'm sure they could. You know, it's just, this is just an all time Ravens letdown. I mean, this is the first huge, I guess you could say, speed bump, but that's kind of like understating it. Like, but I guess you could say first speed bump in this Ravens off season because everything up until this point has largely been smooth sailing. You know what I mean? Okay, we missed the playoffs, but look, what do we do right after that? We fire John Harbaugh, hire Jesse Minter, Hire Declan Doyle, Anthony Weaver, and we got a great coaching staff. At least what we expect to be a great coaching staff coming through here. We had a first round pick, a 14th overall pick. We were cooking with grease, and then what happened? Hey, guess what, Alex? Guess what happened again? Guess what happened again? What did they do to us to end the season? They love bombed us, right? They love bombed us. It happened again to us. They promised us Maxx Crosby. They said Crosby's on the way. And then they let us down. They let us down. And they said, never mind. We're not picking him up. He didn't pass his physical. His man, something we didn't know about it. They love bombed us, Alex. They love bombed us.
You know what we're gonna get? We're gonna get Cam Jordan. That's gonna be what we're gonna get.
And we're gonna like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's gonna be the answer. EDC is trying to go to the Giants so bad he deserves to be fired. You go to the Giants. I'm so tired of them too, bro. I'm so tired of just them being thrown down my throat. I don't care if they got Bat card. I don't care if they got this person, that person. I'm buying the witch Etsy off. I'm buying that. I'm buying the witch's spell off Etsy. I'm putting on the fucking Giants. Genuinely, I'm gonna buy that.
Hey, work last year on us.
I am gonna put this towards Harbaugh. I hope it follows him wherever he goes because the pure negligence this man did to my team for multiple years. The pure
Diabolical, bro. Absolutely diabolical. I don't. I know, and I feel you, bro. I feel you, bro. I'm right there with you, dog. I'm right there with you. Because this shouldn't be us. It should not be us. It should not be us. But it might be clear and obvious now. I mean, this is all time malpractice from Eric DaCosta. He might be playing for the other side. I mean, let's talk about. I mean, he might be playing for the other side at this point. You go out and you get a Maxx Crosby. You're telling me you didn't know about the meniscus prior to trading up your two prized possessions in first round picks. You traded up two of your babies, right, for a meniscus that you did not know about. Insane, impractical, impossible. Okay, it didn't happen. It did not happen that way. So let's wake it up. Let's wake it up, Alex. I mean, this is my conspiracy theory. I'm not going to put you, where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But like you mentioned to me, before the show, this shit smells fishy. Mm-hmm. It does. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. And I'm not happy about it, man. I'm not.
Like, you don't just give to. I don't know. You gotta you talk to the guy. You knew maybe he wasn't feeling 100%, but it just feels like I'm right there with you. I think cold feet definitely played a part. But we're just at the end of the bar still. We're at the end of the bar. A Stretch. Can you bring up Stretch's comment, please? Stretch 52 had no problem drafting Ojabo coming in with I word. Second round pick, by the way, number 45 overall. Thank you, Stretch. But it's
Bro
not
said,
first. Okay, yeah. It may not be two first round picks, but what it is your second round pick when a guy who has shown you absolutely nothing at the pro level compared to Maxx Crosby has showed you at the pro level.
Zilch. Come on. Best I can do for you is a value pick, Mike Green.
Every single year they'll draft somebody who's hurt coming out the draft. Pepe value. Williams, Jalen Armour Davis, Emory Jones, Adisa Isaac, David Ojabo. Every year they will draft somebody hurt.
Golly, man. Yeah, Stretch 52, you my boy, man. And you spin some facts right here with this one. I mean, Ojabo, we both went live when we live reacted to that. And Ojabo, we thought he was gonna be nice, but over the first 4 years has been absolute ass, right? But I had no problem drafting him though, coming off of that injury. So whatever. Team's a joke. You're absolutely right about that. Looks like we do have another super chat donation here. Let me see. Let me go ahead and pull it up on screen. Who is that? 00 Ravens fan says, I know EDC better get somebody like Jalen Carter what do you think about the prospect of the Ravens possibly pursuing a Jalen Carter? I mean, at this point, it's like you gotta do something. I mean, you stood us up on the big date, right? You got to make up with something.
We got
Some
flowers.
flowers. Come on, chocolates.
We had the reservations. We put on our nicest outfit, haircut, and not haircut the day of. Haircut 2 to 3 days before to let it marinate.
Let it marinate. Talk to him, Alex.
Like we really put
Come
on.
on.
We were told all everything good, everything freaking good, and you get there, and get there maybe 15 minutes before, 30 minutes before, not there. Wait and wait, not there. Let me shoot him a text. Nothing. Now it's been the time. Now they're late. It's getting later. And they never show up. That's what's happened.
Yeah. Again, Jalen Carter would be awesome. I mean, if Matabike is coming back, then it's like, all right, cool. We've got a bag there. We've got a great, very, very solid rotation. But an edge rusher like Maxx Crosby was that was the commodity that the Ravens needed. That was the missing piece right there. And the fact that we're no longer going to have that, and there's no other way to replicate that. I mean, even if you do get a Trey Hendrickson, I don't put Trey Hendrickson on the same pedestal as I do a Maxx Crosby. Not from a talent perspective, and not from a mentality in culture fit perspective, especially, right? Everything about Maxx Crosby coming to Baltimore was perfect for the Baltimore Ravens. And so the fact that he's not coming anymore, and again, you missed out on the first day of free agency where you could have went out and got impact players, right? That would have made this team better than what it is currently right now as we speak on this podcast, Alex. I mean, again, it's GM malpractice, and if the excuse is the meniscus that you did not know about, if I'm Steve Bisciotti, I'm looking down at Eric DeCosta and I'm saying, hey, look, buddy, you do realize that your job is on the line here, right? You are already on thin ice, right? You take a big swing and put your nuts on the table to go get Maxx Crosby just to be like JK, right? Just to rescind it. Like, come on now. You have to stand on that business. Like, if you're not going to stand on it, then like, why would you do it in the first place, right? Why are we like backstepping on this? Like, I just don't understand it. And again, the excuse just simply cannot be, oh, we didn't know what the meniscus physical would be. Because why would you make the deal even prior to for 2 first-round picks? I could
Yep.
see if, okay, maybe we'll do a first and a second, right? And we don't know what the physical is going to look like yet, but we'll do a first and a second. But no, instead you said we'll do 2 firsts, not knowing what this physical is going to look like until 4 days from now, and then I guess then we'll reassess this. Like, it's just so stupid, dog. Like, I just all right, go ahead, man, and
I
appreciate
just
you for the new sub, Fisher.
thank you, Fisher. I thought we were done. Just this, this feeling like this for months. I thought maybe September, hopefully maybe later in the year, October, November, we have that one weird loss, but no, March 10th, March 10th, a mere 2 months after Kyler Loop misses that kick. We're feeling kind of the same, just dejected feeling, the same questions wondering, the same. I don't know what this team's going to look like in a couple of weeks, month or so. I don't like. I look at the free agents. Like I like some guys out there, but to be honest, I think EDC is waiting for guys to get cut, so they don't count against his comp pick formula. Because EDC's Lombardi trophy is the fact the Ravens have the most comp picks in the league in a certain amount of time. That's his Lombardi. I'm just like, what are we doing with these picks? Oh, it's Ben Mason. It's Garrett Dillinger. It's Devin Leary. That's not what championship teams are building right now. It's just not. So, this is very, very frustrating.
Yeah, it's really bad. No, it's just like my frustration levels are like through the roof right now for a Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for the super chat donation, KP. KP says first off season for EDC without Harbaugh, and he absolutely burns the kitchen in less than a week. Really makes you wonder. I guess you're saying really makes you wonder who was the real problem behind the scenes here. I mean, hell, I mean, I still stand by saying that Harbaugh, number one, was public enemy number one, basically. But Eric DeCosta, he deserves a heap of blame right now because, again, like I said, there is zero excuse. There's no excuse for giving up 2 first-round picks for something that you were not 100% sure about. You know what I mean? Like, listen, Alex, you know we like to do the purple rain parlays from time to time, right? You know, if you're gonna put in a bet, right? You're gonna put in like a ton of capital, a ton of money. It better be a minus 10,000, a minus 50,000. The odds better be way in my favor for this to go right, as opposed to it going wrong. You don't put up the house, you don't bet the house on something that's like 50-50. You just don't. You just don't. So again, it doesn't compute to me why Eric DeCosta ever thought that this was a good idea to pull the trigger on a deal that he just didn't know if it was going to be good 4 days later, right? You know, if something happens down the line, maybe we can deal with that. But if you did not know that a physical was going to come back till 4 days, I mean, listen, man, you could have positioned yourself in a much better way. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
I'm still at a loss for words because you still don't have a line offensive. You have no edge rushers. You have holes in your secondary, and you don't have a tight end room. And it's now going to be day 3 of free agency. And whoever's that number 14 pick, because Kyle Hamilton isn't falling to Kyle Hamilton talent isn't falling to 14 again. It's going to be hard for them to do that same, have the same impact that Maxx Crosby would, no matter the position. And that's where I'm upset about.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just out of words. I don't know what else to say.
yeah,
What
it's
is
one of
there?
those things. It's one of those things, Alex. No, like I mean, you're right. There's really nothing left to say about a team, and maybe we sound like Ravens fans who are just bitching right now. I mean, and sure, if that's if
Ooh.
that's if
Real
that's how
quick,
you want to put it. Oh,
not to
what
cut
happened?
you off. Tom Pelissero just tweeted, one general manager summarized the feelings around the league. This is very much bullshit on Baltimore's part.
There you go.
There you go.
Boom. I mean,
Look,
like,
listen, like now that I have that, kick him out. Genuinely,
come
like the fact
on.
that a GM is saying that. That's the feeling around the league. It's bullshit
That's
on the Ravens' part.
exactly, exactly. And again, if you are Steve Bisciotti, Ravens owner, you have to be having a very, very honest and uncomfortable conversation with Eric DeCosta, the general manager, right now. You have to, because it's like, how did you let this slip through the cracks? You know what I mean? Get him out of here. How did you let this slip through? Bro, you're telling me we just missed out on the biggest part, the biggest wave of free agency for a deal that you did not have everything, accounted for yet. That is a fireable offense because now
This
we're
is
going into the draft. Go ahead.
this right here. I'm sorry to cut you off. That right there is the fact I just heard that. It's one
What?
thing if they really found something, but the fact that GM says
What?
not a team executive, an actual general manager, get this motherfucker
Yes.
out. Get him out.
Yes. If a GM knows, because the GM knows the logistics of how these things go, how these operations go in the order of operations as well. You know what I mean? Like down to the step, the exact step. Hey, look, I'm going to give you, I mean, free agency tampering period just opens. And you know when we should have known it was fishy? Was even before the tampering period opened, right? I mean, and I get it was a trade and stuff like that, but like right before the tampering period, they just kind of like immediately do this trade. And it's like, okay, we weren't even gonna wait to see what happened in free agency, nothing like that. We're just gonna jump the gun and do this. Okay, cool. Ravens are pulling the trigger. Awesome, I love it. You know, But then again, for like we said, 3-4 days later here to find out that the reason why the Ravens pulled out of the trade is due to a failed physical where a meniscus injury is now the thing. And again, we apologize for saying the I word so much on this
Yeah.
episode of the show, but emergency episodes should exclude that rule.
Yes.
Okay, it's just ridiculous. Like it's malpractice, and like you said, the GM actually saying it. I mean, we're just guys at the end of the bar, genuinely, right? But like these GMs, these are guys who get paid hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to do this job. So again, you're right, Alex, 100% right.
That just changed everything. Everything that I think me and you said before has just been validated by that. 100%. He's a bitch. He was scared to trade some first round picks, got cold feet, maybe wasn't able to get some guys for the line. He said, you know what? Let me get those 2 first round picks back. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mm-mm. Every dollar counts, is what we were
Yeah,
saying.
because this literally changes the entire off season. This makes I mean, like the cap. If we had to grade the offseason, well, when we will grade the offseason in August, right? Like late August, right? We are going to have to put a cap on the grade at about no matter what happens in the rest of free agency, the rest of the draft, anything like that. We have to cap this offseason off at a C plus. Coaching staff is awesome, right? But trying to leverage 2 first round picks and ending up being to your detriment at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like that, that's a major ding on your grade. So maybe C plus is a little harsh, maybe like B minus at the very most. Because again, you did the stuff with the coaching regime. Cool, I love that. But making like taking a swing this big and missing was just not on the bingo card. It was not. It's not at all. It's not conducive to a positive off season for me. So again, this is very bad. We do have another super chat donation coming from Pick Six Flipper. After we have this one here from Why So Serious 784. Appreciate you dropping the super sticker, and then we have Pick Six Flipper says physical sounds like BS. It sounded
That
like BS to me too. Go ahead.
that's what this GM just said. So I just don't. Who wants to deal with you now, Eric? Who wants to make a trade with you? Because if you feel like you got fleeced, now what? You can fail the physical. You can find something wrong. You get your picks back. What? 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 What?
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro.
No. No.
That's like me wanting to like that's like me seeing something on Facebook Marketplace, like somebody selling like this premium office chair, right? And they're selling it for $200. And I pull up to their house and I'm ready to give them $200, sight unseen, right? They just put it in some random box and throw it in my truck, and I just go about my business. I don't even inspect it. I don't even see, okay, are the legs wobbly, right? Or are they sturdy? You know what I mean? Their arms. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it feels like. And the Ravens just, I mean, and specifically Eric DaCosta did not do his due diligence in finding out exactly what the physical status would be of Maxx Crosby before ponying up 2 first round picks for him. And maybe he knew what he was doing when, he knew that this was not going to be official until some time later. So maybe he knew he had a little bit of leeway there, but he wanted to kind of just show that he was taking an aggressive stance this offseason, this free agency period. Maybe that's what he wanted to do and just see what happens later and be able to rescind the offer. But it can't be a good look, again, to your boss, Steve Bisciotti, who is looking for more now than ever intentionality, right, on this team. Like, what are you doing actively, right, intentionally to make this team a Super Bowl contender next season? So I can't imagine how this looks to Steve Bisciotti. I mean, the fact that, like you mentioned, the GM news came out that a GM said that this was bullshit by the Ravens. You know, Steve Bisciotti has to be looking at that with a very, very close magnifying glass, and we'll see how he reacts to it. Another super chat donation here coming from Mad Ross. Appreciate you, Mad Ross. Says this is the reason Lamar needs to run from here. That would be very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But with the malpractice that's going on and the Lamar Jackson not officially being inked yet, it doesn't look good. Double O Ravens fan with another super chat donation. Thank you so much for dropping the 5 piece in the chat. Double O Ravens fan says Ryan Grant, Michael Brockers, now Maxx Crosby. What do they all have in common?
Yep.
Shaking my effing head.
Backing out. Fail physical. My head's on Mars right now. I could just crash out in Eric right now. I'm not going to. It's just not going to be
Yeah, I
any
mean, you already made the hype video. You made the hype video.
wasting my
It's
time.
out. Bro, Maxx Crosby already
I,
posted an AI generated picture or a fan made picture. I think it was actually. I don't want to say it was AI, but it was. I think it was a fan made picture of him in a Ravens jersey. Now
he
all
made
that's got to get deleted,
a 13-minute clip of him basically explaining why he left, how he was sorry for he couldn't get them what he wanted, a Super Bowl, and how he was
bro.
going to come here and give everything.
And you know what's crazy, bro? I didn't even watch that clip in its entirety because it was 13 minutes. I was like, bro, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not listening to all of that. Like, I'm happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened. You feel me? Like, I just couldn't listen to the whole 13 minutes. But like, I was just under the assumption that okay, now Maxx Crosby is a Raven. I can rest now. But obviously, freaking not. Alex, it's crazy. Thank you so much, Double O Ravens fan, for your super chat donation. We have Why So Serious dropping the 10 ball in the chat. Appreciate you, Why So Serious. Says, but people had the nerve to argue with me when they said EDC was a top 3 GM, and I didn't agree. He's not on Schneider, Snead, Roseman, Lynch, or Veach's level. Those guys have been to multiple Super Bowls. Yeah, I mean, EDC is really, really showing his lack of really competence here.
Yeah, it's like comments. It's buyer's remorse. It is. I don't see how it can't be.
Yeah,
But
me neither.
um, good luck, Eric. Try winning back fans for this one. I mean, there'll still be fans that back him, not me. Not me. It ain't me.
not, not
It
me.
ain't me. It ain't me.
Yeah, nah, dog. I feel you. I feel
I
you. No, it's on a Tuesday though, Alex. That's the thing. Like on a
it was
Tuesday.
we hit 80 degrees here in Baltimore today.
Come on.
I should have known there was gonna be some bullshit. I hit a lot of traffic coming home.
Come on, dog. Come on, bro.
My throat started acting up again. I'm on NyQuil right now. I should have known.
You know, it's crazy. I should have known that something was off when I checked the temperatures on my iPhone today, and it was hotter in Maryland today than it was in Texas today. I should have freaking known. I should have known.
EDC opened up the fucking pits to hell.
I,
That's why. That's why.
bro. Okay. I mean, why so serious? I mean, you're totally right here. None of these GMs would make a complete blunder like this. I mean, this is something that's going to be studied for the rest of the week, 2 weeks, for the off season, really. This sort of blunder. And the Ravens can't make it back from this, by the way. Can't make it back from this. There's nothing that they can do at this point. All the best guys in free agency are gone as of yesterday and today. You've got the 14th pick in the drafts. Okay, so yeah, we can start to rebuild the trenches. Awesome. Cool. But like the prospect of having a closer on defense, that's gone now. And we're going to have to go a whole nother season. Hopefully Jesse Minter can do more with less, which we expect him to be able to do. But it's basically we're right back to square one. None of these other GMs, to your point, would have had that happen. Thank you so much for your donation. Maddie Boom with the 199 in the chat says, I just know Harbs is laughing at us. Trade the 14th pick. Yeah, I know Harbs is he's definitely like, oh yeah, we're poaching all your players. We got, Isaiah Likely. We got our Darius Washington. Who do they get today, Alex? They got somebody else today, I think,
Pat
right?
Ricard.
Pat Ricard. Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started on that, Alex. The fact that the Ravens no longer have Pat, just go before I fucking crash out here on this episode. Just go.
They got Matt Nagy at OC. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at them. EDC built a haram ball of just coaches over there. I'm not worried about the Giants. I'm not. I'm not. I'm worried about my Ravens right now. The Giants be the Giants.
But it's like still though, some of our best players Again, Isaiah Likely and Patrick Ricard have no business on any other teams outside of the Ravens. If we're being just completely honest with us right here, I mean, the offense last year, again, when Lamar Jackson really needed to rely on certain guys on the offense, frequently those were two of the guys, Likely and Ricard. So the fact that we just let these guys walk, go right to New York, cool. Again, I'm not worried about the Giants mainly because they're not in our division. Hell, they're not in our conference, right? It's out of sight, out of mind sort of thing. However, it just annoys me, especially with this Maxx Crosby news, that we gave up so much under the assumption, right? Under the assumption that Maxx Crosby was going to be good, and Eric DeCosta just, okay, I'm a pony up two first round picks. I'm gonna agree to two first round picks for Maxx Crosby. But you said, oh, his physical will be back in what, 3 days? All right, yeah, that's cool. I'll still pony up the two first round picks. And then on the first day of free agency, I'll make sure that we offload Tyler Linderbaum, Isaiah Likely, Dre Jones, Keaton Mitchell. You know what I mean? Like everybody. It just doesn't make any sense. It does not add up at all. I mean, trade 14th. I don't know about all that. I mean, at this point, we got to take what we can get out of this offseason. But you're right. I mean, I think Harbs is laughing at us. Matt Rosser with the super chat donation says Lamar will request a trade soon. That would be insane. Well, apparently Lamar, he liked the tweet saying that his deal was done earlier today. Did you see that, Alex?
I did see that. But he's a troll. He's a
He
troll.
do be trolling sometimes. He do be trolling sometimes.
I hope. Even that, like, I'd be over the moon if he signed, but it's just there's so many other things that we need to do to become competitive, and that's a good start. I I see Benji says how many guys are free agents. I can't believe this man. I don't even have the heart to look at who's left. There's some guys who I like left, but like I said,
Don't do it to yourself. Don't
they're
do it to
gonna wait
yourself.
for guys to get cut. Just get ready. They're gonna wait for guys to get cut, and
Yeah.
they're like Justin Houston. That was the opportunity. He got cut by the
Yeah.
Colts, and we snagged it. It's gonna be stuff like that where it won't cost against comp pick formula. It's
Yeah, I wouldn't even do it to yourself right now, bro.
yeah,
It's not worth it.
it's
It's
not.
not worth it. Protect your peace. Protect your
Yeah,
peace. And all 500 of us watching right now, especially if you are a Ravens fan watching this, that's what we're doing right here. We're trying to protect our peace as much as we can. But this is a catastrophic event in the Ravens offseason timeline for 2026. Another super chat donation here from Remy8115. Appreciate you, Remy. Remy says, hey guys, God bless. I am Seattle Seahawks fan, but Lamar has been my favorite player for years. What if he leaves you guys? God bless to you as well, Remy. And if Lamar Jackson were to leave the Ravens, Alex and I think I can speak for both of us and the entire Ravens flock when I say this, we would be devastated, right? We would be dejected, and all the D words, all the D adjectives that you can use to describe it. That's what we would be. However, I think we would also be happy for Lamar Jackson wherever he goes, right? Because we know what he offered this organization and the type of guy that he is. He deserves success anywhere he goes. He deserves success anywhere he goes. So, it would suck, but we would have to accept it. Go ahead, Alex.
First off, Remy, congrats to you. I happy you guys won your Super Bowl. You and Mike McDonald so good on that, but I'd be upset. I feel like I understand it to a point because you have stuff like this happen. And I know it's not our chat, but I will not forget in 2022 seeing people back Eric DeCosta and fucking say Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr, Tyler Huntley can do what Lamar does and come in this offense. And they keep ones backing this fucking general manager. I mean, he makes one move that is good, but he cannot make two consecutive moves back to back that are good. He just can't. It's not in his wheelhouse. It's not. He can't do it. So yeah, I'd be upset. Sorry. It just goes back to our GM.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. Again, catastrophic day. KP with the super chat donation says now a contending team will get him for way cheaper. Oh yeah, this is going to, again, it's going to make the Ravens weaker, and it's going to make one of the Ravens' direct and closest adversaries a lot stronger, a whole lot stronger, right? So I mean, got to be prepared for that at this point. Again, draft is probably the best shot the Ravens have now. Like I mentioned, I think I was talking about to you yesterday on the show, Alex. Like you don't want to go into the draft like having to get like impact players who are going to be. Is that a fact, or is that just an edit?
It's coming from Ricky Scoops, who has been on it today.
No
He's been,
way.
yeah,
No
he
way.
said hearing Trey Hendrickson's going to the Ravens.
No way.
Um, the Cowboys also are not expected to re-engage in Crosby talks, if that makes you feel better. But yeah, he's been on it today. He called the Romeo Dobbs. He's called a couple other ones. So
So basically, what you're telling me right now, Alex, is that in the time it took for the news to drop that Maxx Crosby was no longer going to be a Raven, Steve Bisciotti, Ravens owner, picked up the phone and called Eric DaCosta and said, "Hey, look, you have less than 60 minutes to make this right, or else you're the fuck up out of here." Is that basically am I getting that right, Alex? Like, do you think, because I mean you're saying this guy Ricky Scoops, whoever, I haven't heard of him, but I trust you. If this guy is correct, and I led the show off with I don't want Trey Hendrickson, and I'm gonna stand by that right here in this moment. I'm not gonna succumb and be a prisoner of the moment and be doing this roller coaster of emotions. I'm not gonna do it. Maxx Crosby was supposed to be a Raven. At the end of this day, Alex, no matter what happens by the time we get off of this show here, by the end of this day, Maxx Crosby was supposed to be a Raven. And the fact that he's not, nothing can make up for that right now. Trey Hendrickson, I mean, what's the what are we signing him to? Because he was a free agent. So
yeah,
obviously you still keep the draft capital, which makes it an easier pill to swallow, but at the end of the day, still inexcusable from what the Ravens have done today. But do you have anything else for me though? Like, is there any other news or anything else coming out from anybody else?
nope. I just saw that. Um, I have nothing else. I really have nothing else.
What? That's crazy though. That's crazy. You're telling me what? I'm just sorry. I'm trying to process it like here in real time because it's like, bro, Trey Hendrickson, you're telling me that within an hour, which is why I was asking you, Alex. Like you're telling me, like within an hour's time, like what is this? Like this feels like a freaking action film. Like I feel like I'm in like Ocean's 11 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Well, I mean, let's just say it here. I mean, if Trey Hendrickson were to be a Raven, how would that make you feel?
I mean, it's an upgrade, but my nan rushing the passer is an upgrade as well. So it's Mike Green and Tavius Robinson right now as our edge rushers, and Adisa Isaac. That's all you got.
It's embarrassing. Is what it is. That's what we've
It,
got. An
it's
embarrassment.
sucked the life out of me. It really has. It's
Yeah. Mad Rosta says here with the super chat donation. Thank you so much, brother. Says, how can Lamar leave this team and come to Florida? Hey man, he would have to force his way out. I don't think that's gonna happen, but again, it doesn't really seem like they are, because now think about it like this though, Alex. Like, does the Lamar extension still make the most sense? You know what I mean? Well, I guess
oh,
it
why
does, or no? No?
you unless they have some crazy plans, you don't have a line still. You don't. You have a ton of missing pieces around. I just don't know, and this could just be prisoners in the moment. I just don't know how You'll come back from this, but how big will you come back from this? How good will you? How can you come back? You're already behind every other team. You lose the one piece that was keeping you upright. Like I was fine with today. I was fine with losing everybody. Everybody bar Linderbaum was replaceable. Linderbaum losing him sucked. Obviously, I'm fine with that. 27 million. You can replace Aloha. You can replace Ardarius. You can replace Dre Jones. You can replace those guys. Likely in Kolar, it's harder to replace, but we've had a great track record of drafting tight ends, and there's still some good ones out there. But Crosby, we haven't had him for a decade. We haven't had that good
Oh
of a player in a
gosh.
decade.
In a
Woo!
decade, man. Talk about it. Talk about it, man. Like that's the issue with this. As Alex drops his keyboard or whatever that was.
It was my Ravens. Darkness falls.
Oh
Darkness has
yeah, the
fallen
darkness is
today.
definitely falling for sure, 100%. Listen, y'all, make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you guys are new here to the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate y'all, each and every one of y'all, as we still do have damn near 500 people watching this episode 387 of the Purple Rain podcast, man. I mean, again, you go from the highest of highs and yeah, we got Jesse Minter and we got a brand new coaching staff and now we have Maxx Crosby, right? We finally said F them picks to now you got to come down that roller coaster a little bit. And those are the experiences and the emotions that we, deal with live here on the Purple Rain podcast. Me, myself, and my guy Alex over here, Simply AS10, and you guys as well, the entire Rain Gang family out there. Again, all of you guys who are subscribed, we appreciate you guys for rocking out with us in these moments. Again, in the highs, the lows, the thick and the thin. We appreciate you guys so much, so much. Make sure you like the video and again, subscribe if you are new. But yeah, Alex, I don't think that we have anything else today, right? I think that's about it for now until this whole Trey Hendrickson, I guess, news drops. Then we'll put out some more stuff for that. But in the meantime, I think we've covered everything about this Maxx Crosby no longer being a Raven. So I'll let you say your last words, and we'll go ahead and close.
I'll leave you with this. Usually when I go to sleep early, which I'm doing after this show, um
Mhm.
the Ravens will make a signing or something will happen. It's happened many times before. I'm gonna knock out literally as soon as we get off of here. So that's the only positivity I can think of. So I'll probably wake up and the Ravens sign somebody. And yeah, that's I'll just give it that.
They might. No, yeah, they might. I mean, you saw what happened last Friday. I mean, it was what 10 o'clock, and I hit you up, and I was like, "Hey, bro, like Maxx Crosby's a Raven," and we went live, and so you can't put anything past the Ravens nowadays. But definitely get your rest, brother. I know it's been a long day, for you and I as
Yeah.
well, but definitely had to hop on here for the Rain Gang family and let you guys know what the deal was. Maxx Crosby is no longer a Raven, and whoever does become a Raven, if it's Trey Hendrickson, whoever else, we will put out content on this channel in some capacity. So please be sure again to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and be sure to like the video because that helps us so much out with the algorithm and all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody who's come through, everyone who has donated on this episode of the show. But with that being said, this has been episode 387, and Alex, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for coming through. The short, just out of nowhere episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you for spending your time with us on this
Yeah.
Tuesday evening. Enjoy your night. And as always, stay positive and test negative.
And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. This has been episode 387 of the Purple Rain podcast. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.